involvement with the All-Ivy Native American Undergraduate Conference is that I was one of the advisors, along with Valerie DeCruz and Tim Powell.
I started working with University of Pennsylvania about 5 years ago now.
For the last 5 years, I've been the faculty advisor for Six Directions at the University of Pennsylvania.
Six Directions is a small group. Usually we have no more than 10 members at any time.
This conference, hosting it at Penn, came up as a possibility over the last couple of years.
And about this time last year, we were kind of thinking, okay, maybe.
We all kind of looked at each other and said, we should do this. We have enough people, we're willing to put the work in, and let's take this opportunity while we have critical mass. We lived and breathed the conference.
Idea generation, brainstorming.
What we can discuss at a conference, what we should discuss at the conference, it brings in a whole vitality.
Making sure we booked all the rooms, got food together. I mean, the whole process was an incredible amount of work.
But it was the good kind of work. It was the work that made you want to be involved and give everything that you had.
This was a big deal because we have made great strides in the last several years, but it's slow work.
But you're also spending a significant amount of time giving back to this project that you know is going to create the kind of conversations that we need, the type of visibility that we need, the type of attention this university needs to stand up and take notice to.
For us within the Indian community, it's a critical place of gathering and again building that foundation that we need, particularly when navigating a world in which we are so often silenced and relegated to the sidelines.
The reason this is so important for Penn is it really raises the visibility of Native peoples as scholars, as intellectuals, as artists on campus.
Primarily, this conference isn't about culture. It's about the intellectual forums. It's about the social relationships. It's about communicating the concerns that Native student groups have on each of the Ivy League campuses, and then figuring out how we can cooperatively address those.
I think getting exposure to other Indigenous intellectuals, like the speakers at the conference, helps young Native students think, how can I change the institution I'm at?
And how we can help create awareness, maybe even be a part of that change.
When you bring in members of a Native community from other places to talk to students who are still learning and still trying to figure out how they feel about the Native issues, or it's just a great focus in.
It's nice to know that there's other Native groups out there, and it's a really nice support group for us to know that there are other people experiencing the same thing.
And it's very important for our undergraduate students to have Native American role models, and so it's very important that we have Native peoples here on campus so that they can hear them speak and interact with them and make contacts that they can use in the future.
In some ways, for me, what was most important was that these students, who are such a small group, were able to pull this together and work so much as a team. And as their mentor for the last number of years, I am just very, very proud of them.
It's good to have the conference to bring awareness to all of the Ivy institutions that, we're having a conference. Look, there are hundreds, of us here that we certainly exist.
Having the opportunity to bring so many different people together gives you the opportunity to interact with people who are successful in their fields and to make connections.
That's incredibly important when we're trying to communicate and coordinate efforts that affect us commonly.
We look around the room and introduce ourselves, and we represent many tribes, many peoples.
I think a lot of people aren't aware that, Native Americans can be black, white, they can look any sort of way. And it's really not about, how you look, it's about who you are.
I can just look around at Penn. We are a minority within a group of minorities.
There's so few students at each of the Ivy schools, and they feel very lonely. And so they have the sense of connection to other groups.
And I think the students feel that as they are on a campus that knows very little about Indian communities and our diversity may look and say, well, you don't seem Indian.
Now more of the University of Pennsylvania knows that the Sixth Direction is very active and that there are Native American students here.
You know, so many times we're told to take pride in our individual accomplishments, and that if you do something on your own, then that's what you should be the most proud of. But I'm most proud that we all did this together.